Oh man. And in jolly old England, um, a cleaner at a troubled former office block used to house homeless
Was
has
was he a
revealed.
was he a
What's
chimney
that?
sweep? I always assume
Quite.
whenever you talk about anyone from England, I instantly immediately assume you're a chimney sweep. I'm just saying, if you're not like part of the royal family, I assume you're a chimney sweep.
It's one or the other. That's it. Doesn't actually specifically state. But they revealed that she and other staff discovered a weeks old corpse in a room.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, so in June of 2019, they discovered this. They found evidence that security staff had lost control at at the house.
You
You
think?
think? Management followed appropriate procedures, they claim, after the fact. Um, but yeah, so they had
So they found a
they,
week old corpse. Like they were like, "Hey, are you okay?" He's like, "No, I'm weak and old."
weeks old, so
Yeah,
he's
I
been
got
there
you.
for a while. Like, I
Was it
mean,
Nelson
like,
Mandela's corpse by any chance?
no, but it was the lie that Bindon told.
That's awesome. A week old corpse. And then, so wait, so the chimney sweep found the corpse, and then what? It was a week old, and security
And
staff.
it had been there for 5 to 6 weeks. It was like a decomposed body. Um, Basically, they were just told. The reporter was told that we've cleaned the dead man's room. Yeah, basically, they saw it, and after sort of seeing that and being told to clean up the room after the fact, they said, "Okay, that's it, we're out." And they
Authorities have reason to believe it was Gwyneth Paltrow's original vagina.
well, the
Which
Essex
she
police
stashed in
confirmed
the
the death.
hotel so no one would find out that she was a vagina fraud.
I do love the fact that the police confirmed the death. That's my favorite thing. They confirmed it. The the fact that you got some teeth floating in black goo wasn't enough. But yeah, no, that's a death.
That's
But it's not being
exactly how
treated
I
as
described Gwyneth
suspicious.
Paltrow's vagina. Some teeth floating in black goo.
I bet you're not far off at all. Probably
What,
smells
is
just as
Chris
bad
Martin
too.
gonna come beat me up?
Sure, kid Apple gonna do something to me? Get the fuck out of here.
And it was all yellow. That's about Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina. Sorry, keep going.
So yeah, the management at the building were concerned with getting the room cleaned and letting it out to a new tenant.
I guess so. Or you could just knock a little off the rent. I'm sure that's fine too.
Jesus. It's fucking heartless, man. Like the guy's a rotting heap in the corner. Like, hurry up and scoop him up. We got somebody waiting for this place.
That's just how people are these days. Like, how are we gonna rent this place now? Oh my god. Like no concern for the fact that there's a dead guy. Nobody cares about that.
No, nobody gives a shit.
I saw that poor bastard sat on Granville at the bus stop 8 hours. He sat there dead. Nobody noticed.
That's so bad.
Just mad. That dude's been hogging that bench all day.
Somebody should go there and kick him. Oh, look,
My
he's so
God.
drunk he's falling asleep. Oh.
People. Get a
Oh,
fucking
man.
soul. Remember I used to have that logo, get a fucking soul? Like, man, Jesus Christ, what is wrong with you?
Now, I mentioned this to Eric off air before we started the episode tonight. Are we going to talk about Jean Vanier?
If you want to, sure.
This is pretty big news for Canada. Highly respected, highly loved, massive charity founder, philanthropist, man of the fucking day for the Canadian Catholic school systems. Started a company called Arch International.
He once hugged Nelson Mandela, too.
He once, yeah, he probably actually did. He basically started a huge group, like I said, large. Here's a huge group where it was about for disabled kids, gets them like just helps them work, helps them become productive people, and it was an amazing, and they've done amazing things with it.
Joe
Like I
Biden
said,
was his first client that he helped.
proof you can be anything even after working with this. He has no. His father won the Order of Canada. Like this is like it's a big family with like I mean it's a big fucking deal. This guy
That's
he's
a
done a
tall
lot
order.
of stuff. It is a tall order. But apparently he died by the way he died in 2019, so he's dead last year. At the age of 90,
And he's still
but
dead this
apparently he's still dead this year.
Okay.
Yeah, he remained dead. He didn't come back to defend himself, not yet anyway. Apparently, for over a period from 1970 to 2005, he had engaged in manipulative sexual relationships. The alleged victims felt. Go ahead.
Keep going for.
The alleged victims felt deprived of their free will, and so the sexual activity was coerced or took place under coercive conditions. Basically, now this is when this news first came out. Now, here's the interesting thing.
I don't know how people are surprised by this, because I've always called him Rapey Joe. That's been my nickname for him for years. People are like, hey, you're talking about Rapey Joe? Yeah, I just thought that was a thing. But
I just thought, yeah, exactly. It's what they did with Weinstein, but no big deal. This was all found out because his own company, Large Leas International, released a report where they actually had these women that came forward. Now, these women were not ever any of the kids that were part of the program. These were nuns or secretaries and things of that nature.
Or like he just picked the hottest categories of porn. I'm doing a secretary. I'm going to do a nun.
Right?
Next, going to be a mother-daughter team.
Then maybe my stepsister.
Maybe my stepsister. Oh shit. That is horrible. I will fight you in a sword fight. I swear to God.
I love this. It says here, none of the women was disabled. A significant point given. The Vatican has long sought to portray any sexual relationship between religious leaders and other adults as consensual unless there is clear evidence of disability.
That doesn't make it better. We only rape the able-bodied? That's not good. That's not a good thing. That doesn't make it okay. But thanks for trying to point that out.
No, the reason why this really came forward, like one of the biggest thing, was that the women, there's 4 women so far, and all 4 of them have absolutely no links to each other. They all reported very similar facts, and Vanier's sexual misconduct was often associated with alleged spiritual and mystical justifications.
It was God. Dude,
it was, yeah.
Fucking God wants you to do this. This is such a... Jesus Christ, that's such an easy thing to say.
Now, in 2015, there was a gentleman by the name of Reverend Thomas Philippe. He was a Catholic priest that Vanier called his spiritual father. He had died in 93, but they found out before he died. Before he died, they had found out that he ended up doing pretty much all the same thing, but way worse. He was part of this whole like underground, like that, like those fucked up meetings where people in masks and shit, and they all stand around and sing witchery hymns and do stuff. It was one of those sort of things, into like a cult almost now. The statement from Large International said analysis of archives show that Vanier adopted some of Father Thomas Philippe's deviant theories and practices. Philippe was banned from exercising any public or private ministry in a trial led by the Catholic Church in 1956 for his theories and the sexual practices that stem from them. But yeah, like I said, this is such big news that um
That sucks.
there's schools named after Jean Vanier. There's one in my hometown of Milton, Jean Vanier fucking or Catholic school, and they are now the Catholic school is now, just because of the allegations, whether it's true or not, but they are already looking to change the name of the schools. What do they change the names to? They got to figure this out. And one of the first things they did was they turned around, they sent a letter home from all the students to the parents saying that basically the kids have the choice to wear the uniform or not if they find, because it's got his name, the Vanier, whatever, Jean Vanier, on the patch. And they said that they have the option to wear or not wear the outfits if they choose, that they think that the outfits bother them.
I can see Milton lighting this one up on Facebook.
I'm looking. I haven't read anything about Milton Talks yet. I'm looking forward to see what they're saying about it. But
I could see
I just had a chance to look at it.
Like, I mean, you guys, I'm not going to tell you what I'm talking about. So sorry. Go on Facebook. You can try to figure it out. But these guys, this is a community that, like, you read their Facebook page to each other, and it's like, hey, did you guys see the lines painted in the new parking lot? You're like, oh, you mean that one where the third line ends 1 inch to the right? Yeah, that's totally the one. Like, they find the shit. I totally saw that when I was driving by. That one line is off by an inch. What are we going to do about this?
And somewhere in that post, a Milton counselor has gotten involved in it somewhere.
I guarantee that a school is named after Rapey Joe is going to be a huge issue.
Yeah, this is, like I said, this is really big. There's, what is there? Hang on a second. There are 100 and the charity that it's part of has facilities in 38 countries. Just alone in that one, something like 100. Fuck, this one doesn't have it. Doesn't say in it. It's like 135 or something like that buildings in 38 countries. It's a huge thing.
Here's something I know about the world that I've learned. Essentially, really, I kind of always knew, but especially since Gordon and I started this show, anybody in the world who claims to be really good and does lots of good things, they're actually fucking evil. Always, all the time. And everyone who says they're not evil is just an evil liar, too. Every good person who claims to be good and does good things is lying. They're all lying. They're evil, and they either eat babies or they've raped 100 people. Whatever it is, like this fucking Bill Cosby syndrome, it's not just Hollywood. It's everyone ever who has money and claims that they're doing good shit. They're not. They're fucking someone they shouldn't be. They're hurting someone they shouldn't be. All good people are bad. That's why I swear to God. Money just makes you a sick fuck. It's always the rich. Poor people don't fuck each other like this. It's always rich, sick fucks.
Yep. A similar case concerned the lay leader of a Peru-based organization, Sodalicio. Oh, that's just hilarious. Who escaped Vatican justice for years, even though there was credible allegations of sexual, physical, and psychological abuse against him. The Vatican finally ordered him to live in isolation from his followers, a penalty that drew scorn from his victims, giving that it amounted to an all-expenses-paid retirement in Rome. So this is how the Vatican deals with these guys. Oh, just retire here. We'll bring you children. It'll be fine. We'll bring you children. It'll be fine.
Or they send you to some weird little obscure island where they've got a little church and you got to work there, but they don't turn you in. They don't. Look at the defense of Rapey Joe. The best defense they could come up with is they didn't rape retards. They only raped. Like, that's not a defense. Come on. And I don't care if you're Christian or non-Christian. How is this being allowed? Why is this acceptable? There's enough non-Catholics in the world that someone should be speaking up and making this not acceptable.
Mm-hmm. I agree. This is why the Sunday